Hello and welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Today I am going to show you how to make these. These are magnets with nice finished backs. We get a lot of questions about how to finish the back of a piece and make it look professional. So this has a nice recessed rare earth magnet that's nice and strong, and they're silk screened. So we're having a special right now and we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get started with the project. This is what we use to create these magnets. So I've got my set of graduated circle cutters. I'm using Primo accents in the white gold glitter. I've got rare earth magnets, which are these little tiny but very strong magnets. A piece of metallic mylar foil. And then I have my three mini mandalas from the shop that this week are a free gift with purchase of any 2 silk screens in the shop. So you get all 3 of these designs. And I'm going to show you how to use this. This is Artist Loft paint. This is something you can get at Michael's. It's like the student grade, less expensive paint. I've got metallic crimson red, metallic purple, and metallic cobalt blue, and a little chunk of scrap clay. This chunk of scrap clay is from another project. It's mostly graphite pearl with some other colors mixed in. I'm going to condition this all up into one color. Just in case you aren't great with estimating, each one of these is conditioned, rolled to the thickest setting on my pasta machine, and it's about 1/4 of the bar of clay, so I have that last quarter left. And what we're going to do is put these silk screens face down on our pieces of clay. Orange side down for create along silk screens. If you have another brand, just pay attention to the directions. I'm going to silk screen 2 different ways here. This one, since it's kind of a flower, I'm going to do the whole thing with one color using a squeegee or a credit card or a rubber tool. And you just want to get that paint in all of the holes. So go in every direction. Make sure that your silk screen is really filled with paint and that you're pushing the paint down through the screen. And then we're going to remove it, reveal the design, and go wash it out. For these, I'm going to play around with it a little more. I'm going to use my finger. I've got a rag ready for that, and I'm going to add paint just to certain areas. Like I'll put a pink thing in the middle, and then I'm going to blend it out to purple on the edges. So as long as you're squeegeeing it through and getting it in there real good, you can use your finger too. And Elisa did a version of this where she used a palette knife to put the paint where she wanted it. You can sort of blend it. So on that one you can see I've used the blue, which is actually more of a turquoise color, and the purple. And the most important thing to remember is to just use your finger like a squeegee, and I kind of move it around in both directions and really push the paint down into the holes. Okay, now let's foil our clay. So here's my graphite pearl, and I'm going to take that piece of foil, burnish it down onto this clay. Which might take a minute because it's not warm. Works better when your clay is nice and warm. All right, so you want to rub it on there, make good contact. Heat it up with friction. And you can use a tool to do this part too, like a business card or something, but I find that my fingers usually work. And then you're going to rip it off like a Band-Aid. So grab that corner and release it from the foil backing. And we're going to let the clay fully dry. Now here's the fun part about having graduated cutters. You can decide how much of this design you want to cut out. So for this one, I'm just going to use the inner part. For this one, I'll go a little bigger. And then for this one, I'll go even larger. And then what I'm going to do is roll up this scrap clay to make backings for it. So right now, I'm going to bake these 3 pieces, and I'll be back. All right, now let's talk about the back. We get a lot of questions about how to finish things on the back and make them look nice and professional. So we're going to make a recess for this magnet. And for that, you'll need an X-Acto blade, and I've got 2 pieces of clay. So this one is rolled out to the thickest setting on my machine, and this one is rolled out to, on my machine, what is a number 3, which is the approximate depth of this actual magnet. And the size of these is big enough that this can stamp out 3 times. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little impression of this magnet. And then we'll use its brothers to pull it out. So we'll use the magnet kind of like a stamp. And I just want the size of it so that I can make a hole. And then I'll use my X-Acto knife to cut this out. And it's okay if it's a little bit bigger. We're going to be gluing the magnet in later. So you need room to be able to pop that in once everything is baked. And then we're going to pick up this piece of clay and carefully lay it over top of the other one. Make contact, and then we're going to cut out 3 pieces. Here's another tip. These magnets usually come in a big stack like this, so what I'm going to do now is use it like a stamp to kind of just make sure that there's enough space, that I cut out the hole correctly, which it looks like I did. I just don't want any trouble later popping these in. Okay, so these are going to be the backs. All right, we're out of the oven and cool. And this is going to create a border. So we're just going to cut strips off of here. And I'm just going to wrap the edge of each one of these with a strip of the silver clay. The foiled clay is really pretty, and when you use your fingers to press it on, you can kind of roll it toward the front so that you end up seeing that metallic side. When you get to the end of a piece, you can kind of bevel it and then just attach a new piece and keep going. Once you've got your borders done, we're going to flip these over, attach the backs, and bake them one more time. So you'll want to use your blade to remove these. Put these back on the tile. Set those down in the middle of your magnet front. And because they are raw clay, they're going to bond right to that already baked clay. You don't have to use anything special. We're going to bake this whole thing one more time for 30 minutes, and then we're going to attach the magnets and be done. All right, we flipped them over. They're all cool out of the oven, and we're going to use extreme power glue. You can get this at a hobby store in like the model section, and it's good because it is made for gluing plastic. And sometimes it runs out a little bit quickly from the bottle, so I've got a little off to the side here, and I'm just going to use a tool to put just a little drop on the back of this magnet and then just drop it into place. And you want to press it because air, like the lack of air, is what makes it cure. So you press it into place, and now you've got your back of the magnet finished with the recess. I'll put it in the hole this time because the stick I'm using is actually metal, which sticks to the magnet. So that's not good. All right, and then we'll just drop that guy in the hole there. Press it down, make good contact. And then we'll do the last one. And with these types of glues, it's like a super glue. Less is more, so just a couple drops is enough. Okay, and we are finished. Now you can use your magnets. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Polymer Clay TV and that you'll come back next week and check us out. Everything that you saw here is available at the shop at createalong.com. And like I said, this week till Saturday, if you buy 2 silk screens in the shop, you get these 3 free. See you later.